Hi, I'm Jeanette Jifkins from Onyx Legal, and with me today is Matt Radd from EBusiness Institute. I've had the privilege of speaking for the EBusiness Institute on topics like understanding business structures and copyright protection online for the last 10 years or so.
It is 10 years, Jeanette. I think we've met you longer. And little interesting side story, if you remember, you are one of our very first students ever when Liz and I started teaching what we do online, because we buy and sell websites. That's our business. And we started a decade ago teaching other people how we do it, and you're in our first group. So
that's right, which is why when we talk to clients, they actually appreciate the fact that we can understand, when they talk about the back end of websites and all the different technology, because we've had the benefit of learning it from you.
And it is, and I've got to admit, that's why we love having you come along to speak at our events, because what are the chances of finding a lawyer in this day and age who even understands, say, what WordPress is, let alone how a website works? So exactly what our students are going through, and our clients and ourselves, and you've helped us out with lots of online contracts and things like that.
That's right.
So it's been an amazing 10 years, hasn't it? When you think back where it all started.
Exactly. And the evolution. So the kind of what's happening with websites now. So tell people a little bit more about what you're teaching through eBusiness, because nobody really knows just yet.
It is a bit unusual. So Liz and I, we as you just heard, buy and sell websites. It's kind of like real estate. You think in the old days you buy a rundown house, you do a quick reno, you fix it up, and then you might flip it or you keep it for the long term. Well, we do exactly the same with websites. We started doing this with bricks and mortar businesses many years ago, and particularly we used to do it with manufacturing and wholesale import businesses, but now we just do exactly the same thing with websites. And so basically we buy relatively simple passive websites that we then renovate or fix up for profit. And what we do through the EBusiness Institute is that's our private training organisation where we teach people what we do online, how we make our money online, and in particular where we retrain a lot of professionals, a lot of lawyers. We have quite a number of lawyers on our courses, but a lot of professionals on our courses who want to either create a nice side income for themselves or escape the rat race, basically get out of their careers. A lot of our, as you know, a lot of our community are, we're not all young people, we're a lot of us are, in our 40s, 50 plus. So it's wonderful for us. We get to teach, basically we teach beginners how to get online and how to start an online business. And
whether that supports their existing business or is a whole new career. And people we're going to have lunch with today, we're having a lunch today, which will be lots of fun. But people we're having lunch with today are people who've gone through your course and changed their whole lives because they've shifted from careers they had enough of. And built some really successful
very successful businesses, haven't they? And some of them you've known for
most of that 10 years.
Lucy and Gary, again, they've been with us for many years. So Lucy and Gary will be having lunch with you soon, and they know you very well from all our boot camps and workshops coming along to speak about the legalities of websites. But there's a whole group of us here today, yes, and they've all transitioned out of full-time jobs to earning money online.
And you're doing that for people in two different ways. So you've got Digital Profits, which is sort of self-paced learning, as well as a much more structured opportunity where people get together for boot camps 4 times a year and attend webinars weekly and all of that sort of stuff.
So that's our sort of Liz and my personal coaching side of the business, where we run webinars every single week. We've been running webinars every week now for a decade. Sometimes we run 2 a week, but we personally coach people on those webinars as a structured course, and we have a very structured system that we take people through. So basically, because we train beginners, or we're retraining people in new careers, we start at ground zero. So the first skill that we get people to do is learn how to build a website, so they understand. Then if they go and buy one, they know how to do the due diligence, but the results are amazing. We have total beginners earning, as you know, 6-figure and high 6-figure incomes. So that's pretty impressive. Working from home, we're all about, so we're at our place now, we're at home. All of our community, that's the other thing that we want. So we've noticed that since COVID, a lot of people want to get out of their jobs and work from home, and they want that freedom to do that. And websites allow our clients to do that. Just absolutely phenomenal way. Some of the people who are coming today for lunch, let's think of Mark, started out with simple little content websites, learned how to build them and fix them up, and during COVID he took time. Works at a university as a scientist, and he took time out and he just never went back because he replaced his income.
Which is brilliant.
It's just absolutely brilliant. And I think he invested like $50,000 in websites, and now he's making between $10,000 to $20,000 a month
Good
off
on
those
him.
websites.
That's sensational.
So
yeah,
that's why Mark is very happy coming around for lunch today. So.
And this is what's so great about being involved with EBusiness Institute is the community that we've got to meet, and also the huge variety of different topics and different things that people do, and interests that they have, and what they can turn that into.
Yeah.
That's what makes it really exciting.
It is phenomenal, isn't it? So when you get online, it's really cool, because I'm presuming most of the people who are listening probably have never thought about owning an online business, or
maybe
don't understand
needing
it.
to expand more online in terms of what they're actually doing.
Oh, okay. Yeah, because see, what we find, especially now after COVID, whenever we mention to people, we have online businesses, they just presume it's e-commerce. And we do no e-commerce, none. We don't touch physical stock. So e-commerce is like selling products through a website, or you might sell it through Amazon or something like that, and it's a fantastic model. We've got friends that make many millions of dollars out of that, but that's not what Liz and I do, and it's not what we teach, because our background is owning import businesses where all your wealth is tied up in stock or inventory. So when Liz and I went online, we realized very quickly that we can have these sites that basically just sell in advertising space, and all we do is have these sites around all these weird and wonderful niches. We've got one in pigeon racing. We've got lots in the health niche, and also in private passion niches like hobbies. We find they're really successful online.
Yeah.
And so all we do, basically our strategy is, and anyone can do this, you should check it out. We outsource content. We get writers to write content for us, and basically they write it on a particular, say it's about pigeon racing, they write articles about pigeon racing, and then we just put ads on the website. That's all automated. So a lot of our sites are passive or semi-passive.
Now, you did say automated, but you have a real passion for SEO. Now, and I hesitate to raise this because we could be here all day.
We could be here. I'm just looking at the time.
SEO, what is one maybe common misunderstanding that people have about SEO?
Awesome question. It's a really smart question, and I've got what I think is a very smart answer. And as a trainer in SEO and someone who lives and breathes it, and is how I make my money, what I've realized over the years is SEO, which is search engine optimization, and so that's ranking websites. That's how we do it. We get sites ranking in the Google search engines. Basically, the biggest bang for your buck in SEO is the foundations.
Yeah.
That's the one thing, and so a lot of people get into SEO because they know if you're good at it, you can make a lot of money, ranking these websites and things, and they go too deep down the rabbit hole with it. I myself have done that, by the way, and as a private training organisation and someone that teaches people SEO, I can tell you it's the foundations that count. There's nothing, you don't need to do all the bells and whistles stuff and all the complex stuff, because there's a lot of, if you go Googling anything about SEO, as you know, that there's a myriad of, there's so much info, and there's all this fear around all these updates and stuff. Basically, the main thing I do is I read the Google Webmaster Guidelines and I follow those, and it's very practical. So Google doesn't tell you exactly how their algorithm works.
Of course not.
But you can see what they want from their guidelines, and basically these days SEO boils down to providing really good content, and if you can, get genuine, legitimate backlinks. The good news for our clients, the sort of sites they're buying, when you think about it, are quite micro niche sites. So they don't even have to do as much backlinking as people with big authoritative sites. So it's actually a little bit easier. We see in our community 80-20 rule, people getting massive results just out of doing really good what's called on-page SEO. And if you're new to this, or you own your own business and you want to learn where you're going to get the biggest bang for your buck out of SEO, on-page SEO, and it's an investment, not an expense, definitely. Because with paid traffic, the minute you stop paying, it just is gone. Whereas with SEO, it's kind of the opposite. You actually don't see a result for 12 months. So it's kind of weird, but it's got the tail. Yeah. What happens is it's compounding, and so every time you do some SEO on your website, that's an investment for the future. It's like money in the bank. So websites, you've got to understand, we view them as real estate. They're literally online real estate. And I think that's something we definitely saw in the last 12 months. Oh my goodness. Yes. Wow. The values of websites now are just phenomenal. They're hugely valuable assets, just like a house.
Yeah, which is great.
Yeah.
Okay, well, we'll stop there, because if we talk any more about SEO, we get lost.
Yeah.
Down the rabbit hole. So, how can people find you?
Best way is through our website. It's called ebusinessinstitute.com.au, or you can Google Matt and Liz Radd and you'll find links back to that. And if you're interested in this, there is some free training on there as well. You can. We've got like a free masterclass, goes for about an hour and a half. Pretty much goes through our whole strategy, and basically that's where all our students start. Yep. And and if you want to get an overview of how all this stuff works, buying and selling websites, then I would highly recommend it. Of course, we put it together, but it is a great spot to start. And the other interesting thing you might do if you want to get started is read some of our success stories on the blog there. And you're on there quite a bit as well, because
absolutely.
You're the legend. and I've got to say, like, big rap to you is seriously, when it comes to, if some of you have bigger businesses or bigger online businesses, it is very rare to find. We work with a lot of lawyers we've been buying and selling businesses now for 25 years, and I've had the pleasure of working with many lawyers, and I can tell you Jeanette is awesome, because she breaks it down very simply. But it is very rare to find a lawyer who knows as much as you do about websites, like actually how they work. You can build a website, can't you? Now that you've done our course, you can actually build our website.
I did.
Build a website.
The Jeanette Jifkins website I built.
So, yeah, so
on a Sunday.
So there you go. You're in good hands here.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, thanks very much for your time today, Matt.
My pleasure to
be here.
It's awesome awesome to do it.
Yeah. Let's go have lunch.
Yeah, let's go have lunch.